Yep. So what I was saying, when you have, 100% gains on Bitcoin, when you have big pops within a, 4 or 5 month span, you're going to have a drop this exact, probably like half, maybe 50, 60% retracements to continue a bull run. No bull run is just going to go straight up, right? Whether it takes a couple months, a couple years, long term, you look on a big scale, a weekly and monthly time frame, you're going to see Bitcoin has just been steadily just moving straight up. So if we understand that, now I think that we're going to be, kind of playing around this level, that 34, maybe 30,000 level, $30,000 level. I personally still don't see Bitcoin going below 30,000. My opinion, I still don't see that. I still think that we can hit top out above, 70,000 before we see below 30,000, in my opinion. Still bullish, but I'm just sitting on my hands. We're waiting. We're kind of playing patient with this game. I still want to see this level. Still want to see that $43,000 level being broken to just give me some extra confirmation that we're going to continue to move up. But like I said, right as of right now, I'm sitting on my hands. There was only really one coin that I grabbed up, which was Sin token. But other than that, I'm not really accumulating anything right now. Is it a bad time too? Absolutely not. You can definitely start accumulating, especially if you, started accumulating higher prices on other cryptocurrencies. You can cost average your investment. But for me personally, I'm going to be waiting, to see Bitcoin break that $43,000 level. And the reason why I just talk about Bitcoin first is because everything else is going to follow Bitcoin, right? So with that understanding, just make sure that, you understand that we're going to be consolidating here probably for the next week or two, if not maybe even a month. And then, we should start seeing some movements up after we maybe get some good news or, people understand like, okay, Bitcoin is, holding this level of support. I think we're going to start accumulating more. We're still in that fear index, right? There's a lot of people that are scared right now because Bitcoin dropped 50%. It's normal. I mean, I'm not scared. Don't be scared. Just be confident that, we're going to start seeing these levels being hit again. Like we talked about the last bull run, last time we were talking about this, I was like, okay, I'm waiting for Bitcoin to crack 42. Okay. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to crack 53, broke 53, and then went all the way and topped up at almost 70,000. Right. So just be patient. Just be patient. Don't be scared. NFTs are popping. I mean, if we look at the NFTs and everything like that, we look at the analytics. Let me check it out real quick. Right now, today, we're actually sitting a little bit lower on trending volume. As of right now, we're still a little bit low. We had a spike earlier today, but if we look at let's look at a 30-day time frame. We're down, right? We're down, which means most likely prices are down, prices are low. ADA is low, for example, for our Cardano NFT. So wouldn't be a bad idea to start accumulating those ADA assets, especially because we have some sales coming up, like Pavia sale coming up in the next 2-3 weeks. We have the Boss Cats dropping land in the next 2 weeks. So, it's a really good time, I think, right now to start accumulating those assets for the next projects that are coming if you are into Cardano NFTs. But other than that, that's really all I really wanted to give a little bit of analysis on. Just the NFT market right now, sales are down, prices are down, prices on cryptos is down. Wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if you're in NFTs. You can go ahead and accumulate those assets real quick and be ready for the next bull run. All right. But other than that, I'm going to pass this over to Pat, see where he wants to take this. Pretty sure we got 2 projects for you guys. And then I think Pat has a little news article for you guys regarding Facebook. So with that being said, I'm going to pass this over to Pat. Appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you, Pat, for what you do. Let's get it.
What's up, guys? So like you said, market's still going up a little bit. So we haven't dipped too much. So that part's pretty nice. NFTs are holding strong considering just the network. I mean, look, 1 week before it was nice. It was way easier flipping when you buy a mint, right away when you get it. If you got it, you can put it right on the marketplace, flip it. It's getting tricky now, especially the way as congested as this network is. So it's going to be a little bit trickier to get these. So this is where we're going to have to find some stuff here and there. But we have, like you said, there's a couple projects. So like what we're focusing on right now is basically, rather than try to find like a ton of projects, something every day. This is where we're just gonna, me personally, I'm just gonna keep grabbing some ADA for these drops, especially while it's sitting at around like $1. The drops for this first quarter are gonna be big. So don't worry about necessarily like a return. If you count your money like every day or weekly, how much you made, or monthly, this month's going to be tricky just because of the network and all. If I were you, do it by this first quarter. So go off these first 3 months just because of how many different drops and how many major drops are coming out. So we'll have, like you said, we got Pavia dropping in the first quarter of this for Cornucopias. We have so they pushed back their spaceship. So that's getting pushed back. That's still supposed to happen. That's 128. They're also doing their land release the first quarter. So Cornucopia has a land. I think they're doing a couple. They have their land release. We have, like you said, the Boss Cats have their land release. Pavia has their land release. So, I mean, you're talking like with just like Pavia alone, you can usually mint up to like 10. Boss Cats are going to be able to, I think, go after like 2. I mean, right there, you're talking probably 500-600 ADA at least. Cornucopia is probably going to be, who knows, 50 ADA a piece. Who knows now? Their Rocket's 120. So I don't know what their land's going to be. They haven't announced it yet. But what I'm getting at is like, you'll probably be able to spend 500 to 1,000 ADA on just land in the next. We're already 1 month out of the 3 months of the first quarter complete. So we only got less than 60 days. You're going to have the opportunity to buy land from 3 different metaverses, all on Cardano. And then, like I said, we still have some of the little NFT projects coming out. So there's like plenty of stuff to be excited for. Just don't expect it to be like every single day. Like there is projects, but like I said, we have a drop for tomorrow. We have a couple drops for tomorrow. But the way it's going, you probably, even if you get your drop, you won't actually receive the NFT possibly till Saturday. And then if you try to list it and sell it by the time it gets approved, and so you do flip it right away, you might not get those funds till Sunday or something. So it's definitely a little bit slower than usual. But the projects that we've been looking at, since it is slower, the stuff we're going to like show you today are the ones that we feel these are pretty strong, should easily hold floor. And after that, just because of some of the scarcities and stuff and the way that they're collabing with projects, and the stuff that they have behind them, these we see, these should make it. If anyone got the ADA apes, if you were able to get yours and flip it right away, like that's the advantage if you end up getting the mints quick. So the people that got those mints quick, right away when we checked them out, they were at like a 90 floor, like right off the jump at a double up. Now they're sitting at least, I think they're at like a 50. So it's a small margin. But it's only like 3 or 4 that needed to be sold until it hits like that 68 a floor, which is still a 50% gain. And like anytime you can gain 50% quick, I mean, that's a pretty good come up. And then also, so like the project, me and Jonah were going over this right before the project that we last show where we went and did our review. So Papertopia, we are looking at that one. So now there always could be glitches because of the network and all that. But when we check out Cardano scan and all, that was a project out of the 2 we said we wouldn't go after. It was more pricey. It was a 68 a floor. They had 10,000 items. They were releasing 5,000 right off the jump. Their release was at 4 o'clock. So we're talking over 5 hours ago. Their total sales right now is 500. I think they've sold about 500 of their NFTs. So it does. I'm kind of glad we held off on that. That's the stuff, but like on that show, that's the stuff you want to watch out for, especially with new projects. You never know how they're going to go. That's why, like I said, some of the ones we have for today, they're going to be, well, one of them's a collab, the other one, something's been out. So we feel a lot more safe with that kind of stuff. And then when you get, so if everything goes right, I will be having, I got to figure out how we're going to do it. But the Boss Cats came out with like their final layout. Actually, let me see if I can find out while I'm going over this. But they gave their layout. If anyone is sitting on any of them, you should be able to get something with the whitelist. So you definitely want to check into their Discord. And then what they did was, Yeah, let me show this. So they're coming out with a token, just like all the rest of them. Every metaverse, all that's getting tokens. So I mean, who's going to get used to that? But like, all right, so on here, as you can see, if you have a boss cat, so here's what they have. We have the boss planet. It's coming out. The Voxes is going to be their second airdrop of a character. Then they're going to have their token with their daily rewards, and you'll have royalty sharing. These are your categories. So if like you have one boss cat, you're just going to get a token a day. You're not guaranteed anything. If you have two boss cats, right, you're guaranteed a free Vox. If you have one rocket part, you're still going to get a free drop of the Vox. All right. The full rocket, if you have that, right, which I've completed mine. Okay. So I do qualify for this. So now I should be able to mint 10 of them. Plus they're going to give me a piece of land. I'm going to get 3 of the other airdrops. I don't know if I'm going to do, I probably won't do anything with these. I'd have to, we'd have to have, I don't know. I'll think about giving something like that away. Or doing like a raffle, maybe. One of these, like I told you, if I'm able to, if my transactions go through, and I can grab all 10 of them, plus I get my free one, I will do some kind of like, especially if the mint, because this probably will sell out fast. They're doing like 12,000 properties, but 10,000 of them pretty much are going to be whitelisted. So the public mint's only going to have about 2,000, and it's going to be a little bit trickier to get them. Because as you can see, like right here for qualifications, anybody that's a full rocket can get 10. If you have 2 parts in one, you can get 5. If you have 2 cats in a rocket part, you can get 5. 6 cats, you can get 5. So anybody that's whitelisted is going to probably max out, just because this project's done 100x every time. But I told you guys earlier, if I was able to get this, so if it does come, as you can see, that's supposed to happen next week or in the next 10 days. And then in March, we'll have the next drop. So you guys will have time. If you, I don't know how anybody's sitting with funds, that kind of stuff, but if you want and you see any of these are what you would be qualifying for. Okay. So if you got a rocket part, if you have 2 cats, you will be getting some free stuff. All right. We don't know if it's going to do the same kind of returns, but they don't have an item on any of their projects right now below like 2,500 ADA. So hopefully we'll make a little score with that, but I will do some kind of raffle, giveaway, something. And like without even people knowing it, I've been taking like snapshots of who's been on these calls and all. And like the way I'm definitely going to do this lottery, especially because the crowds have been smaller, like if I'm going to set this up where it's going to benefit people who have been, coming on to our shows, being active on Discord. Like I said, I've been taking some snapshots. I haven't been telling nobody. So I know who's been showing up, who hasn't. And then with that, like I said, if I do some kind of raffle ticket, like maybe anybody that's on that list, and you buy a raffle ticket, you get 2 entries for the price of 1 or something like that. But I'll make it where, like you said, we definitely appreciate everybody that follows us, checks us out, that kind of stuff. Because like I said, you guys keep us very active with this. Like we got to stay on top of this stuff in order to do this kind of thing. But like I said, it's gratifying being able to do this. And it's also cool because we're dealing with people from all over the world. We're dealing with all different ages. We're dealing with a little bit of everything. And anybody that just got in like a month ago, they're actually feeling what most people has. It's a bad thing, but it's a good thing with crypto. Like they got in at a higher point. The market's down a little bit, but it's like, that's not a big deal right now. Like Jonas said, that's just going to be we are early in this. Okay. There's going to be lots of ups and downs, but it's the people that were in a month ago that are now that's saying that crypto is a failure, this and that. And then they sell for half the price and they just lost all their money. And they just they're just got to be patient with this thing, man. Like I have friends that I've been telling for a while, suggesting like, look, you guys might want to get this. You might want to get this. Some don't, some do. One of the girls I was talking to today, I was like, you still have your Ethereum? She's like, hey, I'm not selling that. You told me to get that one. It was like $120. And I mean, she only grabbed one, but still, it's like, it just shows like a lot of people, I've told all the friends that they grabbed it, stuff will dip. Like, you know what I mean? If they grabbed it 500, drops back down to 3. Oh, I got to get out of this. This is a bad thing. Like it happens. It's no big deal. It's going to go up and down. Like you said, as long as we're sticking with those top projects and stuff that has technology behind it, and that kind of stuff, we should be pretty good. And at least, like I said, that's what we focus on. That's what I focus on. And I'm going to keep trying to give that stuff to you guys. So look, let me go to real quick and show you this little article. So like, I know people were talking, I don't deal with regular stocks. And this article, what I'm about to say is not even really about the stocks, but this is with that, with Meta. If you guys saw how like Facebook got that, they just got like wrecked kind of their stocks. And with that, with the main thing I want to bring up about this, Facebook, as we know, is one of the biggest, it's got to be one of the biggest companies in the world, right? Very controlling. They just take our information, everything we click, everything we search, they use that to benefit them, right? So yeah, they give us this for free, but it's all our data they're collecting. Everything we do, they collect all our clicks, they collect. And then they know how to target us with these ads and stuff like that, right? It's all business. Well, now they're basically, ever since Apple did their upgrade, where the users, so if you haven't done this, you might want to check your privacy settings, like there's tracking on Apple phones. We didn't always have the option to turn that off like as easy. Now, anytime you do an app with tracking, they kind of like are going to ask you. You can set that up on your phone so that these apps can't track you as you go. As you see, the privacy settings is what they're kind of blaming on these big losses. You know, like if they can't track what you're clicking on, track all that kind of stuff, all their ad revenue is going to start leaving them. And that's what they based on. What I wouldn't necessarily worry about it if I was like a Facebook person, just because, you know, Zuckerberg's going to probably come out with a crazy metaverse, that kind of thing. But what I want to show you is this. So like centralization, this is one thing that's beautiful with crypto that we need some centralization, right? Some stuff we will have to deal with centralization, but when it's decentralized, it's much better. We don't have a control point. So look, just to show you, one of the biggest companies in the world, Facebook, just got basically slapped in the face by the exact thing that we're dealing with. Centralized. When it's something centralized, look what Apple did to them. So just because Apple's centralized, they can very easily say, look, we're not going to allow you to put your app on our store. We're not going to allow you to do this. We're going to change this. You're going to have to change your security in order to follow our guidelines to sell your thing. So anytime they're going to do these, it's messing with other companies, right? So look, it just goes to show you, you can take a centralized company that is a big boy, and it shows you Facebook, we all know, is huge. But another company that's bigger can just make one little statement, one little adjustment to their policy, and look what kind of chaos it causes. I mean, the funny thing is this thing made headlines all over. It dropped, I think, like 25%. It was 26%, it's saying. One of the biggest. It's like, welcome to the crypto world. We deal with this every other day. 26% one day, then it goes up 40% the next. I mean, it's a little different with stock. But what I want to show you is like, so if this wasn't centralized and Apple wasn't centralized, right? And say it was all community thing, like some of these are, that would all been voted on by the entire community. Like everybody would have known ahead of time. Anybody that follows Facebook would have known all this ahead of time. And it would all be done by the group. So like, it's going to be a consensus thing. Whereas whoever has Apple's in control, you know what I mean? Like this could be just as hard for us with crypto. So say Apple and them wanted to shut down crypto for a while. You can't necessarily stop the blockchain, but the same thing. Say they say on Apple, on Windows and all that, Windows, for example, you can't put, without Google really, you can't put like MetaMask, Nami, they don't work on certain browsers. Well, say they did some kind of restrictions because you're on these browsers. We're not going to allow crypto wallets. Apple, we're not going to allow crypto this and that. We could still figure ways around it, but it's going to be more and more difficult. That's going to be the beauty with the Web3, where everything's decentralized. It's all going to be like, there's going to be none of this like crazy change unless it's all agreed on by the people. But this is what I just want. This is the issue when stuff is centralized, and it doesn't matter how big you think you are, because I'm sure Zuckerberg thinks he's like one of the top dogs in the world. But guess what? There's always somebody bigger that's going to step in your way if you try to step in their way. Because obviously those two compete nonstop, right? Apple, they're technology-based computers. And as you can see, he's going into the metaverse with his stuff. So basically they just put the brakes on Facebook. I'm sure, like Jenny said, that stuff will come back up when the market goes back up. Me personally, I mean, I feel bad if anybody lost money, but I could care less. I don't, other than business stuff, I don't use Facebook. I don't like Facebook. But that's why we are doing what we're doing now. We're trying to get to the other side of that. All right, so look, next thing we're going to go over is we'll hit our 2 projects. Actually, I'll do mine first because mine comes out. So mine's going to come out tomorrow at 4 p.m. And then Jonas, I believe, will come out at 5 p.m. So we'll have back-to-back drops that you guys can look at. So the one that I'm going to have you guys check out is going to be, it's called Ada Ninjas. There we go. All right, so this is what we're gonna, this is the drop that I'm checking out tomorrow. I kind of like this one. They have a decent amount of followers. This isn't their first drop. As you can see, this is S2 is going to be their season 2. So that this is way easier, is what we showed you on the last thing. It's way easier to judge projects that have already been out. You can check their floors, you can see who they're affiliated with, that kind of stuff. So just to be quick, they're coming out tomorrow. East Coast time is going to be 4 p.m. They're going to be 48 Cardano, 48 ADA. I think there's a limit. Let me see what the limit is on this one. I know the other one's limit. I got to double check this one. But if you check out CNFT, right? So this is going to give you basically, this is their first drop. So this is the one way I'm going to judge their thing. So I know they're coming out at 48 ADA. So I'm going to check out their first drop. And with this one, I'll check down to the prices. Damn, and actually that's a go buy. But as you can see, like other than whoever this knucklehead is that listed at 70, somebody could actually swoop this to grab this right now and list this for 104, and you'd probably still be sitting perfect and making a 34A to come up. But so basically I would judge this as 100 ADA floor. You can see it's got a decent amount, almost 9,000 NFTs out. So I don't see this project. It might not get to the 100 right away, but I don't see a way that I could lose on this project. So this is one I'm definitely going to go after tomorrow. It's going to be 4 o'clock, 48 ADA. Let me show you their website real quick. It's going to be a game. It's going to be kind of like also like how when we talked about Sin City, where it's going to be like gangs, that kind of stuff, fighting like different territories. Same style, but you're dealing with ninjas.
But the one I'm going to be talking about, guys, is actually a partnership with Baby Alien Club. Baby Alien Club actually has been around for a while now. If you actually look at the all-time ranking list, they're number 13 out of all the projects that there are. There's 4,200 projects ranked on this chart, and they're number 13. So they're top 20. Very low price right now. The floor price for that one is 50. But Cyberkicks is pretty decent. They have a couple different drops that they've done. They've done a couple partnerships with different projects on CNFT. But they have 10,000 followers. They're going to be coming out with only 600 of these, 600 hype babies. And I'm assuming it's going to be these shoes. They're going to be, I don't know if it's this, it might be actually the Baby Alien with the shoe, not 100% sure. But they're going to be coming out at 45 ADA per NFT. You're going to be able to mint three per transaction, and they're coming out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. So we'll drop the details in the chat for you guys for that. I'll drop their Discord and everything like that in the chat as well. But they're going to be coming out tomorrow. There's only 600 of them. So if you do the math, you have 10,000 followers on this Twitter, and then you have Baby Alien Club, who has 18,000 followers. So those are going to be really, really hard to get. If you can get one, I would assume they're going to be priced pretty decently high. They have a couple different drops, which I can show you kind of where their floor is sitting at. Let me look. Cyber. Let's see. All right. They're not popping up. There we go. Cyber Kicks. Let's go to one that's like close to this mint. So this one has 500 hype box. They're honestly just boxes, but they're sitting at like 55. They have another one which is like season 3. They have 1500 of them. They're sitting at 97. They have a season 4, which are sitting at 95. And then they have let's see, Deadpool. So Deadpools is actually one of the top projects, I would say top 5 projects on CNFT, and they're sitting at 160. So even if we can even get to a double up, I still think that's actually a pretty good opportunity. There's only 200 of these. So I mean, even if we went to like 100, I still think that would be, pretty good. Considering they're literally just kicks. But I think this is the one that I'm going to be going for. If I can get one, probably going to go for at least maybe like 2 or 3 if I can, and try and maybe get a double or triple up right off bat. And that's the best thing with projects like this. We can get the double up or triple up right off bat. So if you get an NFT, and if you want to hold it, it's up to you. There's always benefits of holding an NFT long term. But when it comes to like flipping, the best way to do it is after the mint, right after mint, if you get the mint. But like I said, this one's going to be a little bit harder to get. There's 600 of them. But yeah, that's the drop that I have. There really isn't too much. I have a couple other drops that I'm looking at as of right now that I've seen on Twitter. I'm going to look more into them and do my own research and just kind of calculate whether it's a good investment or not. And then if it is, just make sure you guys stay tuned to the Discord. That's the best way that you're going to be able to that's the best way you're going to be able to really see everything, is being in our Discord. So make sure you guys are in our Discord and staying active every day, because that we're going to be dropping stuff almost every single day. So that's it for me. Pat, did you have
Yeah, I found
else?
it. All right, so look, I was kind of way off. So they actually announced this. I was looking in this project, like I told you, Tuesday night or Tuesday. So they put this out. It must have been after I was looking at it for the whole final guidelines. So I was a little way off. The main mint that we're going to be able to get into is not going to be till Monday. So what they're doing is Friday. Who was it? Elena. Yeah, said. So look, she was right. Tomorrow you have to have one of the previous ninjas. So if you are holding one, if you want to grab one from season 1, they're going to basically do a whitelist. So for every ninja, previous season ninja, you're whitelisted for one. So you're guaranteed one. They're going to do that for 48 hours for their holders. From there, then they got a 12-hour window in case any transactions went wrong. And then this is going to be a early one. So look, Monday, this thing's at 8 a.m. UTC. So that's 3 a.m. in the morning. This drop is going to go public, unless I'm wrong on this. So I don't know where that countdown clock for 8 p.m. tomorrow is, because even this time is 3 p.m. Yeah, I have no clue what that countdown clock is. That's not making sense on their website. But if this is correct, and this is on their announcement page, this weekend will be the whitelist, and then we'll be at 3 a.m. on Monday evening. All right, so it'll be a late Sunday night. If you want to get this. So I know this one's a little bit late, especially the way Cardano's been working. So it's like hit or miss. But the good thing is, it could be a lot of people sleeping, and maybe get a couple multiples of these. You can mint, as you can see, 10 at a time. So top is 480 if you want to go after all 10. Everything's going to be in increments of 48 though. All right, but just to clarify that. So we will remind you on that one. So unless you're sitting on a ninja, or else like you want to grab one, like I said, so like that one wouldn't be if he's available. It's probably not going to be available, but if he is available and somebody wants to grab that up real quick, which he is, before I do, so this is another way, like me and Jaron we'll make some profits sometimes. I mean, you see this gap. So this is in the price from floor, right? And as it's listed, you have that big gap. So even if you bought this thing and just relisted it at 104, you're still going to be in that very first slot. And there's going to be, that's a $35 come up right there. It's almost a free NFT. But you're going to see these kind of stuff a lot just because of the way the network is. I had stuff I thought had listed, I had confirmations, all that, and I clicked on the actual transactions. They were never listed. It's weird. Cardano's been acting strange. I saw Journey the other day, and I think I did it on our show, where the same item has been sold multiple times and it just hasn't processed yet. So you just got to watch out for that. But that is pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions, any projects they want us to check out? So I also showed you guys those little like airdrops on Lobster Wallet last show. They should be coming in every other day or something. It's going to be real small fractions of stuff, but just check them out. Like I got another like 0.1 of a Ripple today. So I guess they're steadily just going to give you stuff. It's not a ton. Like I said, it's small, but that stuff does add up. Same with like Coinbase. If you guys have Coinbase accounts, make sure you get that free money. They have like $80 worth of free tokens. They basically give you like $3 to $10 worth of each token when they first come out. I have a bunch that when I did them in the very beginning, when they came out, they only gave me $3 or $4 worth. Now they're sitting at like 20, 30 bucks. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it's all free money. You know what I mean? So that probably $80 that they say they gave me is probably worth like 800 to 1,000 once I cash them all out. So the free stuff we get, I don't know of any big airdrops that are like coming up at the moment. We still have our steady airdrops. T-Fuel, you guys should be getting your Sunday swap tokens. I would think they're going to start dropping them very soon. And then the other one we've been keeping an eye on, I know we said we haven't been buying nothing, but we are keeping it and we are considering, is the milk token. So like if you like Cardano, their swaps, as you've seen, the swaps do pretty good. Like there's not too many swaps out there. Pancake, all of them, they're all multiple dollars. So when you can get these tokens under $1, under ADA, that's good. Milk token now is up to like $8. But there's only 10 million made. For max supply, there's only 5 million in circulation. That is a low circulation. Like we were going over, me and Jonah looking at it compared to like top 100 coins. If it gets in like the market cap of, I think it was around like 3 billion for, this is for the milk token, right? If it gets around 3 billion, that's like ranked number like 60 right now. A project that has 20, I think they had 20 million. They are sitting at like 168 right now. And that's with a 20 million supply circulating. So considering this is only 5 million circulating, that if it can reach that same position, it's a $600 token. And right now, like I said, they're about $8. So we know Cardano's stuff's slow right now, so that's going to hold people back from buying it. But you see the swaps, they're not centralized. When they're working right, they're the way to go. So keep your eye on that. If you're into Cardano, you want to keep your eye on all the little tokens coming around their exchanges, that kind of stuff. And they'll be giving stuff out. Like you said, we got some free stuff so far. We should keep getting it. We'll have free stuff pretty much coming the next 2 months.